Welcome, horrible people, to the Horrorble Opinions podcast, and I'm back again as your host, Kenny.
I'm here too, Daniel, and I totally watched this movie.
I'm Synth Music Ryan.
He is. And today, we are talking about My Best Friend's Exorcism. Who wants to give me the synopsis of this film?
Me.
Okay, Ryan.
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm going.
So this...
Here we go. 3 weeks before her 28th birthday, New York City food critic Julianne Jules Potter receives a call from her lifelong friend Michael O'Neill, a Chicago sports writer. Years earlier, the two agreed that if they were both unmarried by age 28, they would marry each other. Michael tells her that in 4 days he will marry beautiful Kimmy Wallace, a college student 8 years his junior whose father owns the Chicago White Sox. Realizing that Michael is the love of her life, Jules resolves to sabotage his wedding. Arriving in Chicago, she reunites with Michael and meets Kimmy, who asks her to be the maid of honor. Jules schemes to break up the couple, but her attempt to humiliate him backfires. And there's just a bunch of shenanigans, and then I think there's like a song segment where they all break into a song just randomly. How am I doing?
Yeah, you nailed it.
I mean, that was your best one ever. Wrong movie.
What?
You showed up for that.
At my best friend's wedding.
Oh, God.
Do you mean, thank you, God. Thank you for taking my load.
You can't burn the best line of the movie at the beginning of the pod.
I'm too excited, okay?
He's so excited. Someone else can do the
Okay.
real synopsis if they want. I just had that. I had that bit prepared. I'm sorry.
He worked really hard on that bit, everybody.
I was just reading the Wikipedia synopsis.
Now, who wants to hit me with the synopsis of the movie we watched?
We've got teenage high school students. They're kind of snippy with each other. They take some acid. They're at a friend's cabin. One of them gets possessed. Hilarity ensues. 80s ensues. It's a good time.
When I listed this movie to you all, you didn't watch any trailers or read anything about it, so you're just going off of the title. Title alone, how do you think you guys are going to feel about this movie?
I'm either going to enjoy this movie because it knows what it is, or it's going to be another Sharkside of the Moon, where it has no idea what it should be.
Daniel, any thoughts?
Nope.
I was concerned myself, just because I've read the book, and I loved the book, and this movie came out at the end of September on Amazon. I haven't really heard people talking about it, so my concern was, oh God, it didn't live up to the book. Like, they did a bad job. But, I enjoyed it. You bring up Sharkside of the Moon, real quick, you remember what the IMDb rating was for Sharkside of the Moon?
3.
It was a 3 because it was in focus. We could hear what they were saying, and I'm pretty sure everyone got paid.
Okay, now, keep that in mind. They gave this movie a 5.3.
That's almost double.
Does that seem right to you?
If this movie was the entire back half of it, the score would be higher than that. But as it is, you still have that first part, which I thought dragged. I see a 5.3, sure.
A 6. This is at least twice as good as Sharkside
It is
of the Moon.
more than, I would say it's more than, because it's a movie.
I'm just saying, if Sharkside of the Moon is a 3, then everything else that exists is a 9.
Just by existing, then yes. Yeah, that's pretty much accurate.
It didn't hurt my eyes.
I'm going back on my being okay with the 3 on Sharkside, and that's now a 1.
That's now overrated.
Because, look, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to watch this movie again. Not to try to sync it up with any soundtracks or anything, just because I enjoyed it.
I'm going to watch it to try and sync it up with my best friend's wedding.
There you go.
I'm going to try to sync it up with episodes of Sesame Street and see what happens.
D is for demon. It's good enough for me.
I love that this movie is opening with 80s synth music.
Oh, fantastic. It was a love letter to the 80s. I'd say some people might think that's a little played out and stuff with, Stranger Things craze and all that, everyone trying to hop on that, but it hits every time for me. The only thing rough about the style in this movie was really accenting Abby's eyebrows.
Like a caterpillar crawling across a leaf and onto Abby's forehead, you managed to get that critique out. Well done, well done.
Here I was gonna say that I liked how everybody looked because they're slightly weird looking. Not your traditional Hollywood, everybody's beautiful.
Oh, yes. No, I love that.
They don't look like 30-year-olds playing high school students.
Yeah.
They only look like 20-year-olds playing high school students, which is refreshing.
We got Lusty, we got Blonde, we got Pimples.
Aww. See, that's what I loved most. That's what felt most authentic, was they felt like high school girls. Like, it was great. We're all good friends, but you listen to them talk to each other and it's like,
They hate each other.
are you? I'm not a woman.
What?
Okay.
Oh man,
not
this is where you
When
choose
did this
to reveal
happen?
this?
This was gonna be down the line.
Yeah.
We were gonna tease little hints throughout episodes.
Right. We're going to drop that. I'm not a woman, and I wasn't a girl in high school either. Keep that in mind when I say these felt like real high school girls to me.
I'm gonna ask a
potentially
question.
In the 80s.
The boyfriend. Do either of you know anyone, a human being, who ever acted like that? Because I don't think they exist.
You mean like a party boy douchebag?
I don't think it exists.
I mean, have we met?
Yeah, have you met Kenny?
You want some drugs?
Party Boy Central. You want some acid on some stamp?
Not once have we dropped acid.
This is true.
Why is this?
I only do that with my friends.
Oh shit.
Do you have a girlfriend who has a friend? I can punch her in the stomach.
I loved that. I loved that.
He got accused of rape. That's a serious thing.
Well, you wouldn't think it was a serious thing, going off all the adult reactions, because drugs are bigger problem.
Oh yeah, no, drugs are the bigger problem in the 80s. She deserved it because she did drugs, according to the... I'm not saying that.
I mean, you just said that.
That's what they're saying, okay? I am not saying.
And to imply, if you say that someone took drugs, oof.
Yeah, you will not drag her name. I will pull your scholarship to this Catholic high school so fast your head will spin.
That was did you get that? You get it? The head spinning? You get it? Did you get it?
Not only did I get it, my entire time watching this movie, I was drinking pumpkin spice eggnog out of my Exorcist mug.
Oh, okay.
The look of the movie was fantastic. I love a good throwback to, a fun decade. The cast was great. They all nailed it. Their banter felt good. It seemed believable that that's how they would act. I honestly saw you as a Christian Lemon.
Yes.
Show stealing, show favorite, the Lemon Brothers.
Oh my god.
Having read the book, my entire time was just me waiting for the Lemon Brothers to show up.
In the book, do they lift a cross for weights?
That whole thing felt accurate to how I remembered it. That was amazing. And Kim was sitting next to me the whole time. She's like, oh my god, that is so cringe. And I'm like, hun, this is accurate to the era. This
Oh my!
that
is
that is
so good.
That is inspirational, motivational speech from that time period, and throwing in the religious aspect and lifting weights. Like, that is so good.
With Jesus by your side and a full set of dumbbells.
When I'm trying to get that last lift done clean and it's weighing down on me, and then the weight is lifted off of me, I know that's the Lord.
Once I saw them in the commercial, please, weightlifting Jesus, let them be the exorcists in this movie.
Yep.
And I got my wish.
Not just they, though. It was his little baby boy, Christian, going out on his own, flying solo. One thing you need to know about Christian Lemon. This is the most important thing you need to know about him. He likes yogurt.
Oh my god, he loves yogurt.
It is literally finger licking good.
So I have a question.
Shoot.
Was them tapewormy thingies, was that a thing you could get?
Yes.
Oh.
Are tapeworms a thing you can get?
No. Like, is that a thing you could order to give yourself a tapeworm for weight loss?
Yes. It's frowned upon. It's super unsafe.
Oh, really? Why?
I don't know that I can't imagine. I don't know that it was ever that big. I don't know that it really was like a fad diet, but it was a thing that happened.
Because the more horrifying issues are ignoring the demon possession is just girls' body image issues.
Oh, and how easy it is to poke at it and make them do extreme things. But here's the thing. I'm not a girl, but...
But when you do, go full Buffalo Bill. I got it.
Would you
I'm
fuck
with you.
him?
I know exactly.
I wouldn't.
I would. We get our opening set up. The kids go to one of the kids has a nice little cabin nearby, family cabin, and they go there and they're hanging out. It's supposed to be a girls' weekend, and then our douchey boyfriend shows up, played excellently. I thought that guy nailed that role. Shows up with a little, I'm wearing a mask, I'm gonna scare you, but hey, I brought drugs. We're gonna drop LSD.
Yeah, before that they play with the Ouija board though.
We do have some Ouija board action, which always asking for trouble, and it spells out, mine.
Then I was like, oh shit, is this going to turn into a mine movie?
Yeah, we love mind movies.
But it didn't.
It didn't. And then boyfriend shows up, brings drugs. We all know when you start taking drugs, that further opens you up to demonic possession.
It opens your third eye.
Then we go skinny dipping because that's what we do. And we're all sitting around. An hour goes by. We're still not tripping on the drugs. We got bad LSD. The kindest friend points out Abby's pizza face, as a kind friend would. She takes off running. Gretchen chases after her because, Gretchen and Abby, besties forever. Little lady talk there. Find a creepy abandoned building in the woods. We go in there.
Oh, before this, there's a lot of owls. There's an owl outside her house at the beginning. It's the Goblin King. There's an owl.
Yeah, it's Jareth, the Goblin King. Yeah.
And then there's an owl in front of this abandoned house as well.
And then we go in there. We're walking around. There's, childhood legends of this building being haunted. So they knew it existed. We go in there and then, spooky stuff starts to happen. They put their hands through an opening and it's so black in there that their hands just disappear.
And the shadow was working its way up.
Right.
Shadows shouldn't do that.
And then they think they're starting to trip, but then they both hear a sound. Oh, LSD only makes you see things. Like they're experts. Like, you don't hear things.
I'm pretty sure you hear things too, yeah?
Not in my experience. Huh? Anyway, see some spooky shadows and spooky stuff happens, and then they freak out, and then they run.
Well, there's like this egg thing and like a nest kind of thing.
A little shrine. There's a mattress. You gotta be comfy. If I walk into an abandoned building, I hear a noise, and then I see a mattress, I'm gone.
I'm taking my pants off. I'm lying down on the mattress. Let's go.
If I see just the weird wooden little shrine thing, I'm okay with that. It's the mattress that tells me, oh no,
really?
Someone lives here.
I don't know. I think your priorities are all backwards. You see the shrine, you leave.
No, I'm not worried about the shrine.
You should be.
I know, but I'm not.
You're gonna die in a horror movie, but that's fine.
Probably. So then the spookiness happens. They start running. Abby's in the lead. Gretchen falls down. So Abby's running, but she keeps hearing Gretchen saying, hey, I'm right behind you. Keep going, keep going. Gretchen gets up and running. And she keeps hearing Abby yell, hey, I'm over here. I'm over here. Straight up demonic manipulation. Right off the bat, we know, oh no, one of you is screwed.
Did you think it would be Blondie, or did you think it would be Pizza Face that got possessed?
Well,
I guess you
knew it would be Blondie.
Ryan, which did you think?
I thought it was going to be Blondie because the opening shots of this movie where it's doing all its beautiful just visual storytelling.
The owl was outside Blondie's house.
Yeah, the owl was outside Blondie's house. Gretchen's mother makes sure that she has her chain crucifix displayed, wipes off her lipstick before she leaves the house. She also gave Gretchen the red apple. So once the spookiness started, probably Blondie.
Right, and for Blondie, for Gretchen being in the religious household, you would think her parents would be a lot more useful with her being possessed, jump right into that. No, she took drugs. She's not possessed. She took drugs.
Took drugs and got raped, but that the got raped is in like lowercase letters, but the took drugs is in big uppercase.
In their mind, that's a consequence of her taking drugs. So that's still her fault.
I don't like that.
Parents of you're not supposed to like that.
Yeah, their parents were useless and awful.
I didn't like that.
God awful.
They had good fashion though. He wearing that sweater around the neck. Ooh. Good stuff.
That wig.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wig on Mama Lang. Oh, God. They get separated. Abby comes back with the other girls, finds her in the house. We get another little jump scare. Gretchen is obviously pissed that Abby left her in the spooky house. So that's our setup.
What makes this movie fun?
Lemon Brothers. So you've got your main cast, and they're in a traditional horror movie.
Yeah.
But then you've got the Lemon Brothers, who are in a different movie.
The Cheddar Goblin and Mandy actually came into the movie, right?
Here's why I think it's so fun. Every time you watch an Exorcism movie, the entire time it's just dark, foreboding, like it's beating you down. This is an exorcism that's taking place in the middle of just a fun 80s teen movie world. The demon, I'm going to go name drop here, Andres.
Don't give it power.
I know. Andres, that's what I love about this movie. The first half of the movie is spent having Gretchen go bad. I mean, first, we see her start to get sick and start showing signs of the demon, and she's falling apart. We can't help her. The excessive amounts of throw up throughout the movie is fantastic. When she finally breaks and the demon gets more control, now the demon is working to fully isolate Gretchen to get her on her own so it can have complete and utter control. And so it is forcing her to do these things things to each one of her friends to get them to leave her alone. And that's why we get giving the weight-concerned Margaret the tapeworm eggs, trying to kill poor little Glee with her peanut allergy, and getting Abby, her best friend, fully exposed in front of the teacher she's crushing on, and her worst fear, as was established from the lake scene, is why she didn't get in the water, of having her makeup washed off to expose all her pimples.
Gotta say, she didn't look that bad.
Oh no, she's fine. So it's the heartbreaking part is the entire time Gretchen's still in there. She has to be a part of this. She still has the little slip, like the writing in the notebook and stuff, the help me. She's still fighting to get out. There's this internal struggle going on. And the demon's doing such a good job of just pushing the friends. So obviously, like, Glee and Margaret, I don't think they're very good friends. But Abby, like, it even manages to push her, what is it, Lila's Love You Like a Sister.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, pushes her Lila apart by just digging at her biggest insecurity, using Gretchen's own knowledge against her friends to push them away. And that's, to me, that's the worst part of her possession.
Yeah, but she started looking good. So maybe it's worth it.
When it's getting bad, like she's getting like all the mouth sores and all that looking like death.
But she gets Sith mouth for a while there.
Yeah, Sith mouth. But then, yeah, it crosses to that next threshold, and now she's walking back in, makeup's on point, outfit's on point, and starts just mean girling it up to an extent of, we're gonna kill her. She becomes, it's like Heather's 2 at that point.
So I think Andres has missed his call. He should not be possessing people to cause havoc. He should be one of the Queer Eye for Straight guys kind of dude.
We're gonna give you like big time makeover. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
I could see that. Now, before Gretchen has her full turn into pretty demon possessed, we have our Lemon Brothers show up at our Catholic private school to put on their performance.
I would say this is where the movie starts.
You guys love the Lemon Brothers?
Yes.
We're here to lift you up to the Lord. What is not to love about Lemon, you know?
Before they showed up, I was like, this movie's kind of not really doing anything for me. But then immediately I'm like, oh, I'm back on board.
I didn't have the Lemon Brothers. I had a different 3 set of muscle men who visited our middle school, and they had this, there was no religious connotation because public school, right? But they were still talking to us about abstinence, but the entire time they were giving this speech, they're bending metal bars. I think one of them might have been juggling some kind of weights or something. One of them did the trick where you put the bar in your mouth, and then the 2 other guys were pulling it down around him.
What kind of carny shit did they let in your school?
You know what? Whatever it was, it buried deep within my soul. And the Lemon Brothers, it was a very heavy load. And all I can say is, thank you for taking my load.
Thank you for taking my load, Jesus.
What I also appreciate about this movie is that the characters in the movie laugh at this.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's no high school kid that's not gonna just die at that.
Everything that's crazy, the stupidest stuff that happens in this movie, there are characters within it that are naturally reacting to it.
It feels good. The whole environment they're in for the whole movie, it feels right. That's where we meet our Lemon Brothers, and while they're performing, the youngest one, Christian's out there tossing out, I think it was like little cross lanyard keychain things, and he spots Gretchen while she's still out there with the Sith mouth, and he kind of is like staring at her, and she's over there like breathing heavy and kind of freaking out a little bit. He kind of like, So then we're like, okay, this guy sees something. He knows something's up. It's kind of freaking him out a little bit. These guys are maybe legit. Maybe they're not all just muscles. Maybe their faith is as strong as their flesh. Like, I could tell, like, these guys have definitely taken a few loads from Jesus.
I mean, yeah. Think how much protein is in those loads.
Yeah, and that yogurt. So we've got the Lemon Brothers. We've got our friend group. We got the asshole boyfriend. We've got the demon-possessing Gretchen, who is trying to isolate herself from everyone else, so, she's more vulnerable. We've isolated her. Abby thinks, after Gretchen escapes while she's, feeling bad, Abby thinks that Gretchen has been raped by Wallace, so she tries to go to Gretchen's parents and say, hey, she got raped, even though Gretchen asked her not to tell anyone. But the parents focus only on the fact that they did drugs. They don't care about the raping. So when they don't care, she goes to the head nun of the school and tries to tell her, and she already got a phone call from Gretchen's parents, and she basically is threatened to get thrown out of the school for telling lies about Gretchen. Nobody cares that she was raped. They only care that she did drugs.
I said this earlier, but I don't like that.
Yeah, that's not great. And then we catch the Lemon Brothers ad on TV, and that's when Abby remembers, oh, that young hunk of a man there had a visceral reaction to seeing Gretchen. Maybe he knows. Let's go find these Lemon Brothers. So we go to the mall. Oh my god, I wish malls didn't die. I would go hang out in the mall right now if it looked like that. So we find our Lemon Brothers. We talk to little Chrissy boy, and the older brother's like, come on, dude, if you're not, over here, like, we're leaving. We're gonna leave you. You're gonna have to find your own ride. So clearly, big brothers are down on little brother Christian. Little brother Christian.
Yeah, little butter.
Christian's over there like, look, I've got the gift of discernment, okay? Our mom died in a car crash, and she came to me and told me that she was okay. She didn't come to them, she came to me. And your friend? Oh, yeah.
Big time possessed. I see it every time I go to a high school. There's always
one. And he drops, though, like, everything that's been happening to her. He mentions it.
Yeah.
So he's right.
Yeah.
So is there one per every high school class? I don't know.
I believe it.
But
I think there's one at my workplace right now.
Look, there might be. But in order to get him on board, he's just like, yeah, let's get some yogurt. And he goes to town on that yogurt. And he's all excited. He's gung-ho. He's like, look, we got to exercise your friend. And not in the way that we're over here exercising for the Lord.
I love that normally your exorcist is an old dude who's stoic and has done it a billion times and knows exactly what he's doing, and you don't get that feeling from him at all.
Right, and I think the book goes further into it.
He's so excited about it.
He is. If I recall, I think the older brothers had done this before.
And he watched.
Like he wanted to prove himself and kind of go at it on his own.
Well, in the movie, he's like, oh yeah, we did this all the time. I mean, well, they did it. I watched. But we do it all the time.
He's like, okay, we got to go get your friend. Wait, he has experience kidnapping high school girls?
Yeah, he knows that I can normally lift a 70-pound high school girl, no problem.
Yeah. Oh, it must be the demon. She's a little heavier. So Abby breaks into Gretchen's house and then opens a pill into her drink and then stirs it, and the demon Gretchen, finds her because she can't get out of the house. And
why couldn't she not know how to work a locked door?
look, you panic. It's probably push, not pull. And she's in there and she knocks Abby down. She's, about to... We're assuming that she's going to play the angle that, oh, you broke into my house. I was just defending myself with the knife. And she takes one little sip of her Coke.
It's Diet Coke.
Diet Coke. And it drops her.
Also, the amount of perfect ice that came out of that fridge so quickly.
The technology was better back then.
I would like to get a fridge like that one day.
Yeah, one day. You'd like one that works.
Yeah, that'd be good.
What do you say it was? It was GHB?
Yeah, what is that?
I'm guessing growth hormone something. He said the weightlifters use it all the time, but...
if you take too much, you just pass out?
Drop. But she had a sip.
A little bit.
And it was one pill she busted into that? She's real tucking out. And what she say when it starts to hit her? She's like, oh, you... It was great, though. It was like, oh, you bitch, or something like that. Oh, you little scamp. She passes out, and now we cut to Christian, Lemon, and Abby taking Gretchen back to the cabin, because it's isolated and whatnot, and we are tying her up to the bed, and Christian's all excited, like, yep, tying up a teenage girl.
He's singing a little song.
He says that. He says that.
Tying up a teenage girl.
Yeah, it's great.
He is so excited.
He's so pumped for this. I live for his energy here. And he's giving her the rundown before we go in there, the usual, like, don't engage with the demon. I have to break it and get its name. That's a victory. We need that.
And at this point, we already know the demon's name.
Right, because Abby stole Gretchen's Trapper Keeper, which I think I had that exact Trapper Keeper.
With the help note scrawled in it?
Well, yeah, with the help notes. And it was funny, Kim had no idea what a Trapper Keeper was, so they were just living a different life in Hawaii, I guess, because I was like, you didn't ever have a Trapper Keeper? It's like, that thing is legit. And yeah, so we see the demon's name, which Andres, written on the wall in one of the pictures.
My favorite persona summoned.
Big Owl Man, which they have a description.
Naked Owl Man. Naked Owl Man.
They have a description of Andres.
There's a drawing of him in the sketchbook that is 1-to-1 with the persona demon.
That's fantastic. They say the myth of Andres, which I thought it was Sandra spelled backwards, but it's not. That'd be Sardna. That's on me.
Yeah, that's on you, yeah.
He or she, I guess there's not really any sex to demons, but the 63rd spirit is a great marquis who commands 30 legions that has the body of an angel and the head of a raven cat owl who rides a black wolf and carries a pointed saber. And he too escalates quarrels and discord. I kind of wanted to see him riding a black bull carrying a pointed saber. After reading that, I was like, well, where was that? Also, I was really only getting owl. I didn't get raven or cat. There was none. That's right. So yeah, we're in there. He's doing his thing. He's what is he flinging on her face?
Sea salt.
Oh, beautiful salt. He's salting her down like a snail.
A big buff guy like that throwing salt full force at your face. How do you think that's gonna feel?
I'm not a teenage girl tied to a bed.
I'm not a girl.
You have been a slug and snail before. How did it feel when you got salted? Did it feel good?
Did you like it?
He felt attacked. I mean, look, if it goes in your eyes, that's gonna hurt. I don't think she was shutting her eyes.
Well, just close your eyes, dum-dum.
Also, he went through an entire big thing of salt so quick. He's like, I gotta go get more. He's trying to get the name, and then she's just like, oh, I know his name. It's Andres. And he's like, ah!
He's like, hey, all right, come over here. Come here. They have to do a timeout so he can scold her. I think he was a little embarrassed.
Super embarrassed in front of the demon.
Yeah, she embarrassed him in front of the demon.
I appreciate the realism. They don't often talk about exorcists having to go out in the middle and like carbo load.
Well, no, he was protein loading.
Yeah, protein loading. Like
when he said that,
protein loading.
Gotta go protein load. I died.
It's a lot of energy to do a good exorcism.
And then he's eating his chicken while they're going over what they're gonna do next. Oh my god.
So he's like, look, I have to get it to tell me its name, okay?
You can't just tell me. This is important to me.
It's important to me. I have to break him. So his enthusiasm is for him to do this, not to save the girl.
Yeah.
We go back in there, and he's like, oh, here's a drink. And she drinks, and then she starts freaking out. It's like, holy water! Then he pulls out the funnel and the gallon jug, and he is just dumping water down this girl's throat. And I'm like, oh my god.
Hey, it's effective.
It's in page 7 of the Exorcism handbook for weightlifters.
Yes, just drown your possessed victim.
Well, I guess that's what he wanted to do after that, is fill the bathtub with holy water and then literally drown her.
And that's where Abby drew the line.
Which is a fair line to draw.
And then he's like, okay, you didn't like that. What's he do next?
He goes and gets the kettle that's got hot holy water in it or something.
I like to imagine it's just hot water.
I'm not entirely sure what the plan was actually with that, other than he's just like, no, you gotta let me, careful, it's hot now, get up, no, it's hot. And I'm like, what are you gonna do with this hot water?
I've seen it before, it's like we have to mar the flesh to weaken the demon's hold on it, which, if you recall earlier in the movie, Gretchen herself was like stabbing herself with the pin and hurting herself to kind of get to the front of the brain there and kind of control herself a little bit. Like that's one of the ways she was able to fight past the demon's control here and there.
Wait, hold on, wait. Because now you're making this movie sound smarter than I thought it was.
Okay.
Doing intentional self-harm as a way to use the pain as a way of staying in control.
Right, it was focusing her brain. Like whenever she was on the toilet stabbing herself with the push pin, that was Gretchen then. That was her actually talking to Abby.
You're right.
Like,
Okay.
Throughout the movie, and it was great because it wasn't always clear. Gretchen was slipping through, and so it wasn't just the notes. When we see her in the car and she's got the scratch marks on her arm, that's her trying to claw the demon out.
Also, when the demon pulls the blankie off of her, why do they always go for the blankie?
Because you get cold, and that's the worst thing they can do to you.
Everyone knows the blanket is sacred. It is the protective turtle shell when you're sleeping, and you remove your protective turtle shell, and now you're vulnerable. If you pull the blanket over your head, nothing bad can happen to you. That's every demon. It's holy ground for Highlander. Every demon respects it.
But the demon just pulled the blankie off.
Well, yeah, because now they've taken you off holy ground.
You just kick him in the nuts, drag him off holy ground.
You have to tuck the blanket under the mattress. Then they can't do that. Everyone knows that.
And get a weighted blanket.
Oh my god, weighted blankets are so good.
There you go. And the Lord helps me lift my load so I can get out of the blanket. So he was going to dump I assumed he was going to dump the boiling water down the funnel into her throat.
That's what I was hoping.
I was hoping for that as well.
I wanted to see that.
This movie is good popcorn, but I wish it had gone further into terms of craziness.
More body horror?
More body horror, a little bit grosser, a little bit more extreme.
That tapeworm getting pulled out kind of gave me a little bit of what I wanted.
Oh my god.
Margaret's punishment, getting her 11-foot hose-thick tapeworm pulled out of her mouth and then snatched by a dog and ripped out, was amazing. Okay?
Yes.
Loved it.
Tip of that thing come out of her mouth and start reaching for the ice cream.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was fantastic.
And I said, hallelujah.
Yeah, and then the dog runs in there. Saves the day.
Saves the day. Well, not really, though, because she's got a lot more in her.
She's got a lot more in her.
Yeah, she does. As we find out, they're still pulling them out of her,
Oh.
like even the next day or something.
Yeah, the first.
So like more of that stuff, I think, because the beginning of the movie, at least for me, I had really good, what I'll say is visual storytelling, where I'm understanding who all the characters are just by what they're wearing, their interactions, and it's pretty quick. All right, I know exactly who everyone is, motivations, all that good stuff. And then after the possession, it's a little bit slow in between Gretchen getting messed up and then messing with her friends. And so I think the only next time where I got really into it was once we yanked that worm out.
Big moments, yeah.
And so once we're starting at the exorcist part, the exorcism, this is where the movie really should have cranked up that kind of vibe.
Like, she didn't even really do any crazy possessed stuff when she's in the bed. She just did a bridge, and that's not that crazy.
I mean, you do that every morning just to stretch. I mean, on the one hand, like, yeah, I get it. Like, obviously, I want more, like, crazy messed up stuff. But on the other hand, I mean, we've got other movies that do that for us.
I think the juxtaposition of Lemon being so into it, but then also all the nasty stuff happening would have been great. Would have been better.
Oh, yeah. Like, we need a Lemon Brothers movie where they run around and do this. Like, that's the big takeaway.
All right, we remake The Exorcist. They are The Exorcist.
Oh, and it goes so much better for them.
Yeah, because they get thrown through a window, but because they're so fit, they just roll.
Yeah, you can't
Tuck and roll.
You can't break that neck.
Yeah.
That's too much muscle.
Yeah.
And they're gonna land on the cross that they're carrying at all times.
Absolutely. Let's write this movie.
We're halfway there. You know, he gets tackled, not allowed to dump the boiling water down her throat, and they're laying there. It's like,
he's like, you know what? Good call. I was out of control.
I crossed the line there. Like, that's smart. Good job.
Good on him for recognizing that.
Right, so he leaves again. She covers Gretchen up with the blankie, and then they go back in there to try this again. Now it's his mother's voice, who died in the car crash.
Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy, why you do this to me, Jimmy?
Why you do this to me, Jimmy?
Then he takes the blanket off, and it's his mother, and it's all sweet, and it's like, this ain't gonna stay sweet. Yeah, I came to you, and I told you it was all good, but I lied. I was alive for 15 minutes trapped in the car. I was alive when it caught on fire. That's where he draws the line. Nope. Mom catches on fire there in the bed. He's like, okay, I'm out of here. Goes back in the living room. He's like, what? Abby's like, we gotta save her. Hey, look, you've got my number. Here's the Bible. You got this.
Call me, let me know how it goes.
And his brothers have done these before. He's been a part of this. No Demons tried that tactic before, but okay. I just love that he's just like, no, that's it for me. I'm gone. Which clearly shows, again, he didn't care about Gretchen. It was all in the glory for him.
It's fine, because it paves the way for the true Lord and Savior to come in and save the day.
Right.
Boy George.
Absolutely. So, quick cut. Abby goes back in there. Gretchen's gone. She, telling her, like, whispering, like, oh, you should leave. Well, I'm not gonna leave you. We're Lila's. Look, we're besties. I'm saving you. I don't know how. I'm saving you. Power goes out. Like, yeah, you should have left. Da-da-da-da. Gretchen and Abby kind of have a little tussle. Abby's got a fire poker. Gretchen runs right into it, punctures the stomach. So the demon didn't like that.
Demon screams. The demon don't like iron.
Demon don't like iron.
That's exactly what I thought. Iron poker.
That was my takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't explicitly say that, but hey, we're all fairly well versed in,
we're all a little spooky.
We're all a little spooky. Do you guys want to start a faith-based exorcism like team in real life?
Yeah.
We gotta have faith.
Yeah.
So then the demon has to go recover. So then we cut to the abandoned shack or whatever.
A lot of owls.
A lot of owls at this point.
A lot of owls.
And Lemon, in his story earlier mentioned, like, oh yeah, you see a lot of owls. Like, yeah, they know their master's near. We find her laying on that mattress I mentioned earlier. Now this is when Abby goes to work with the real exorcism. And how does that go?
Bleh. Well, before that,
the power of Boy George.
Power
of George compels you.
I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut you from our newly formed Exorcist band. You're just not pulling your own verbal
You got mush
weight.
mouth on tambourine.
Yeah, she starts just listing all their favorite 80s
Yeah, their
references,
big memories, everything they've done, like their best friend moments, which I do love that, one of them thinks they're going to eventually marry Boy George and
They don't know.
they don't know. Love Culture Club. I appreciate that we actually got Karma Chameleon in there.
I was so happy and surprised.
So, look, it had a budget. It was on Amazon. We're hitting it with all the best friend moments, and then, like, oh, just leave me. Let it take me. No, I'll never leave you. Da, 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 da. Then, as Daniel so eloquently put it, we have a lot of spew, but this time it's a little bit different because we start to see something rise out of it.
Now, here's where I was hoping that it would be the owl demon from Persona.
And that would have been tight. Instead, we got like a weird gray baby Hellboy.
It's a weird Harry Potter goblin.
Yeah, it was like, who's that little guy?
Nobby?
Grip Hook.
It's
Greybeard?
Doblin.
Dobie?
There's Frodo.
So this is what Dobie got up to after Master gave him a sock.
I know that sock.
He says, with this sock, I become the master.
So then we get this little demon Andros, like in physical form, which seems like a big step, but okay. He was adorable. He charges him, pick up the alcoholic beverage that's like 180 proof that the church school referred to as rape juice, and get a lighter, and she has an epic spit flamethrower, torches the demon, which doesn't seem like it'd be an issue for a demon, but maybe it is.
You'd think a demon would be okay with fire.
Yeah, you'd think, but maybe it's the rape juice.
You saying the demon doesn't like the rape juice?
Yeah, nobody does. That's not even cool in hell. Like, don't do that. Yeah, we burn him up, and all's kosher. We're all good now. Oh, is it over? Oh, yeah, I think it's over. Then we cut to Gretchen. They're moving, and they were planning on moving before this whole thing happened anyway. That was a point. Like, oh.
But now they definitely have to move, especially because we skipped over her having to go to the bathroom and the nurse not letting her, so she just pees in a trash can.
In front of the whole class, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to move after that.
So they're moving. Abby shows up to, get her goodbyes to Gretchen. Yeah, we'll stay besties forever, and don't worry. And like, is it over? And it's like, well, I don't think it's ever really over, but hey, you did it, but I think it'll be fine. It's like, yeah, and then, cry and drive off, whatever. And then it cuts back, and then what do we see in the tree?
An owl.
The goblin king again.
Yeah, and you know what this movie did after that I love? That I wish every movie did?
20 years later, what happened?
What happened to our characters?
Okay, Asian girl does like allergy. I don't fucking remember.
The allergy awareness
thing.
Gets peanuts replaced by pretzels on airplanes.
Lusty does counseling at schools about body image issues.
And she also is the author of a book series about killer worms.
About killer worms, that's right, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Wally drinks too much grape juice.
Drops out of college.
And then he goes back as the caretaker of the area.
And lives with his mom.
Christopher Lemon got kicked out. Christian. Sorry, the actor's name's Christopher. Gets kicked out of the Lemon Brothers group.
And starts his own yogurt company.
Yeah, starts his own yogurt company, which made me a little bit sad. What was the name of the yogurt company?
Something like Spirit Lift Yogurt or Yogurt Lift Spirit.
I think it was like Spirit Yogurt or something.
Like that, yeah. Gretchen and Abby just... They stay friends and live happily ever after.
And the owl goes back to his little labyrinth and...
hooting around, taking babies. How do you guys feel about the movie?
Liked it. Didn't love it, but liked it.
Yeah? Right?
I think it is at least 3 times better.
I would say 5 times.
Sharkside
5 times better than Shark.
Fantastic. Would you watch this again?
I think I would watch this again if I was showing it to someone. I'm not going to watch it on my own.
Correct.
You'd definitely show it to someone just for that tapeworm scene.
Well, there's the tapeworm scene, and then there's one other scene we didn't mention. It's when the first time we get the pea soup. They're all at the table, and
She pukes on the boyfriend.
They're trying to get Gretchen to eat something, and she throws a sandwich away, and then she calls him, says, "You got a micro penis."
A little peanut.
Yeah, well, you smell like spit and all this stuff. And then just out of nowhere, just pea soup immediately. And I'm like, oh, God, bathe in it. Good stuff.
And he was looking like he was about to throw up, and I was hoping he would do the same thing right back on her, and then it would be a cycle.
For that and the tapeworm, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it went full Linda Blair. Does this make you want to pick up the book?
No.
No?
No.
But I would read the other guys, his other stuff.
Like I said, I enjoyed the book. It's been a while since I read it. I feel like the movie hits all the points of it. If you just want more Lemon Brothers, to revisit that'd be fun. But yeah, I would highly recommend picking up any of his other stuff. I think you guys would love love Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. They even make the book look like a fake IKEA catalog. It has little pictures of IKEA products from hell throughout it, which are fantastic. He also has co-wrote some other fun things like Satanic Panic. That was a fun movie. Check out at least Grady's other books. Does anybody have any other fun Exorcist movies they'd recommend to go along with this?
My best friend's wedding.
I'm here for it.
Because if you think about it, she might be possessed the whole time, and they just don't show that part, but because she's trying to ruin this wedding. And what kind of a monster would do that for someone that they used to know?
Somebody!
But based on like the tone of this movie and the subject matter, an author I'd recommend is Jeff Strand.
Yeah, I just recently started some of his work.
Specifically, Benjamin's Parasite.
I read that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll check that out.
Here we go, spin-off cast.
Well, I just finished my first one of his. It was Clowns versus Spiders, and that was fantastic.
At the end of the day, we just all need to like give it up to the Almighty and thank him for taking our load.
Just take our load, oh Lord. Take our load.
Can I get that on a shirt?
Okay, guys, that about wraps it up for our talk on my best friend's exorcism.
Wedding.
Oh, God. As always, I've been your horrible host, Kenny.
I'm a horrible podcaster, Daniel.
I'm an 11-foot tapeworm, Ryan.
And we've had a fantastic time with tapeworms.
What? Wait, what?
Tapeworms. Fry them up with some oil. Delicious. They're just great.
What?
Delicious.
What just happened?
Don't even worry about it. Let's get out of here, fellas. We will see you all next time on the Horrible Opinions Podcast.
Goodbye!
Wash your hands.
I love you.